Well, thank you, Craig, and hello, everyone. I'm so happy to see you guys, my Unlimited Wisdom family and community, and Matt and Ezra's here, of course, CJ, our hostess with the mostest, Deborah, Sandy, Bill, Melody. Love you guys. Bill, and did I say Sandy? Scott? Great to have you guys on here. And the subject that I have for today that sort of goes with the one yesterday is just the word faith. If a lot of you take the time to look up this word, I think it's so interesting because if you try to explain to people what faith is, it was funny. I seen a guy in our chat and are basically talking about the pyramids, the pyramids in Egypt, right? And I believe that it was Bill Shoemaker. In fact, I know it was where, we talk about certain things and he was just saying the Beatles song, Let It Be. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes our mind and our logic and our intellect just kicks into high gear and it really, really tries to figure things out. And for me personally, on my post today, is that, life is really, really simple. It really, truly is. But we've always talked about over all the years that I've been helping people be successful, it's the and have like a peace of mind and joy. It's really just you making a definition of what your word is. You can either, of course, take faith and put it, in a dictionary. Hi, Lisa Marie. Hi, Kevin. Or what you could do is sort of come up with your own definition of faith. And one of the things that I thought I'd share with you guys, because I know that you guys have seen this. This is one of my, favorite posts. And it's like the reason that I think that it's so powerful, faith is like Wi-Fi, is it is interesting now that we travel. Me, I just got back from Michigan, but it is so interesting how fast you'd like to hook the Wi-Fi once you get to the airport. Then you want to hook up your Wi-Fi on the plane. And then once you get to your hotel, you want to connect your Wi-Fi to the hotel. And if anyone tried to figure out, what is Wi-Fi, unless you were this incredible scientific individual, there's no way that you could explain Wi-Fi to anybody. Wouldn't you agree? And so let's say that you could scientifically explain Wi-Fi. Most people wouldn't understand. So, like every subject, I love just going into that word, and you guys will love this, man. Bob Proctor. Here's one of the quotes that he said. When I first heard this, I went, wow. He says, faith and fear both demand you believe in something you can't see. So choose one. Because, my son and I have had a lot of conversations over the years. And all of a sudden, when you say, I'm nervous, I'm nervous, or I have anxiety, or, it's like we all have these words to try to explain to somebody what we're feeling, but they don't understand. I've even seen people that have anxiety try to talk to another person that's going through anxiety, and they're not explaining the same feeling. Now that's real. Are you like you feel like you got an elephant on your chest right now? Your heart's going up? No. So how can multiple people have anxiety and have different explanations of what they believe anxiety is? Because wouldn't it be the same as fear or faith? It's just something that you experience, but you can't explain. And there's all these little sayings that I found that faith is the bird that feels the light and sings when the dawn is still dark. It's like, how many of you guys ever heard a rooster or birds chirping? You know what I mean? There's this weird thing that happens with, fall in Montana, and a lot of you probably have seen it, but it's like the instinct of a goose just saying, listen, it's time to fly south. And we always hear about these crazy migrations of monarch butterflies. It's just like, so nature has this deal where, wait a minute, isn't this the time where the leaves start changing color and then they fall off? And so here's another one. Faith is taking a stand even when you can't see the ground beneath you. Wow. Of course, Matt's introduced me to this incredible tool I like called AI, and I'm asking it to make up some ones that might be pretty powerful. And I'm going like, faith is taking a stand even when you can't see the ground beneath you. That's like, what? Faith makes things possible, not easy. Of course, we've heard this one. I've heard this with wolves all the time. Feed your faith, not your fears, and it will starve it to death. So again, you got the two wolf stories, of Indian culture, native Indian culture. And it's like, one is faith and one is fear. And the chief says the one you feed the most is the one that'll eat you. It's just pretty powerful. We've all heard of Dan Millman. Faith means living with uncertainty, feeling your way through life, letting your heart guide you like a lantern in the dark. And so, depending on the kind of Bible you have, because there's a lot of different translations, faith occurs 247 to 458 times in the Bible. And I heard one time that the weird word fear is 365 times in the Bible. And there's usually, it doesn't set by itself. It's always like, fear not, fear not, And we used to have a saying when I first got involved being an entrepreneur. There was this saying that was always, hey, fake it till you make it. Act as if, act as if you're a multimillionaire or whatever your goal and desire is. And I remember the first time that I said to people, it's like, how about faith it till you make it? How about faith it till you make it? So in really, really uncertainty times, again, you could fear and be uncertain, or you can have faith and be certain. And see, I just don't know, how people, it's easy to make a decision, but the decision very simply is you believe that everything's going to be okay, or you believe that it's not. And so I was having a conversation with my oldest son, Robert Hollis Jr., and he was going, hey, he said, there's some really wild stuff that's happening in my company right now. And Amy said to him, what would your father do? And his response was, and Matt probably going to bring this up too, people that know me, Melody, Craig, some of you have known me for years. It's like he always falls on his feet. It does not make a difference what happens. He's got, unlimited lives. And no matter what happens to me, I just have the ability to think positive that this too will pass and that my next adventure is going to be a better adventure. Why do I want adventures? This is, again, thinking outside of the box and thinking big. Why would I want the next chapter of whatever's happening in my life? Why would I want it to be less or the same as the chapters before? So now with the uncertainty of what's happening, no, I'm not uncertain. Could I explain everything that's going to happen? No. Do I know it's going to be okay? It's not even close to okay. It's going to be freaking amazing. And then there's people that are like, well, I don't know what's happening. Well, I don't know what to say. I just know that I'm excited about my future. I'm super, super excited about what's happening. And I still don't have all the ideas of what's happening. But there will be an announcement tomorrow. And I know a lot of people are going to go, For the love of God. What does this mean? And so a lot of people are going to have that deal where, and some of you may not like this. I sort of like it. But the announcement that will happen tomorrow will actually happen on MDC's anniversary of being 11 years old. And it's like, wow. So it's one of those things that you just need to ask yourself and always go from how you feel. We all know I'm probably, since I printed this, I don't know how many times I've shown it in videos. But it's like when you really, really understand that some of the things that we drive on the lower part is, again, things that have to do with uncertainty. And uncertainty and lack of security makes us feel not good, right? So then, have you guys ever heard this phrase? You usually do it for people. But one of the things that I always say to people is like, you look at a person's history, and it's a pretty good precursor to what's going to happen in the future. Do you know what I mean? So you like look at people very, very, very close, and it's like if they're constantly knocking it out of the park, and then they get with a new team, they're probably going to knock it out of the park as well. And so yesterday, I know that I talked about probably also with recess is, Kyle Larson right now winning the world championship for NASCAR, right? And all of a sudden, there's these videos that came out. So even though he won, and everybody was like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for Denny Hamlin, And then someone put this whole thing together of Kyle Larson because he didn't have a great, great year. He didn't win 6 races. He didn't lead everything going all the way through. When he was going through the playoffs, it's like he just barely made it over the threshold to get into the next part of the playoffs when it went from 16 to 8 to 4, right? And someone was going, hey, does anyone remember these clips? And it showed the guy walking up to Kyle Larson and saying, wow, it's really sad that your car, broke a tire and you went into the wall and it ruined your car. And he's like, yeah, that's extremely, extremely disappointing. And sometimes you just have to have faith to believe that you'll end up where you're supposed to be. This doesn't make sense right now. And so people kept saying, Kyle Larson is not the guy he used to be. He's having a bad season. Everyone's like, it's like he's never had what is called DNFs, do not finish. That this guy finishes every race. It's like, if I don't have bad luck, I wouldn't have luck at all. And they were showing every time they got in his face. And they were like, wow, what are you going to do now? And he's like, listen, I've been on this road my whole entire life. I was the kid that for Halloween showed up with Jeff Gordon rainbow shirt on when I was in elementary school with a matching backpack. And Jeff Gordon was the guy, man. If I just wanted to be like Jeff Gordon, and that guy's won 4 world championships. And he goes, in a blink of an eye, I'm working for the guy. Now Ricky Hendricks brought Jeff Gordon in, sort of like the predecessor to who he is. Now Jeff Gordon's Kyle Larson's boss. And that's like, he says, so I look at Jeff Gordon and he goes, man. And Jeff Gordon just goes, so what was the goal? What are we trying to do? We're trying to win the world championship. Then what is in your control? He said, Jeff Gordon just kept saying to him, so tell me, are you not working out? Are you not preparing? Are you not doing what you're supposed to be doing? And Kyle Larson said, I'm doing more than I'm supposed to. And he goes, well, that's what you told me when I first met you. So you're doing everything in your control. Yes, sir. Then let God take care of it. Yeah, but we're not doing, wait a minute. That's not in your control. So then, Danny Hamlin leads over 200 laps. He's the fastest car. He gets the pole. He wins the stages. Denny Hamlin did everything he could possibly do. Then, every time the car pitted, his team did what they were supposed to do. He ran a perfect race. 5 laps left. He's in the lead. No one's close to him. Car blows a tire, hits the wall. A caution comes out. Kyle Larson didn't lead 1 lap the entire race and finished before Denny Hamlin and won the world championship. And everyone's scratching their head going, how the F did that just happen? That's not supposed to happen. That's not supposed to happen. And then the guy goes, yeah, but you just kept forgetting who Ricky Hendricks is, the guy that's won 15 world championships, 4 with Jeff Gordon, 7 with, Jimmy Johnson. It's like he's only been in NASCAR 30 years. And 50% of the time he's won a world championship. That's pretty good odds. So you got Ricky Hendricks, the owner, that brings in 4-time world champion Jeff Gordon, and he's the overseer of the drivers. It's like, why did everybody forget that? Just because Danny Hamlin had a perfect year and a perfect race doesn't mean that it ends up in a world championship, because other people have faith. It's just not what the things you're supposed to do, right? And so that's my message for today. I would ask each and every one of you to look up the word faith and come up with your own meaning, what faith is for you. If someone asks me, Robert, what's your definition of faith? It's consistently seeing and speaking of things that are not as if they are. That's what I'm doing. How many of you seen the interview that I did yesterday with Tom Chenault, right? They have no idea what's going on in my life right now. And I just thought it was interesting how Tom said, yeah, this is the guy that, people can go out and become successful in a company. But there's a certain group of people like Robert that every time he gets in a company, he just goes to the top. He just consistently always keeps setting the level of higher. And I was thinking in my mind, wow, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing next week. You guys will see the announcement tomorrow. But I do know one thing. Man, I'm going to kick ass doing it. So I love and appreciate that, each and every one of you, and I want you to know that I love you. And here's another really cool thing, is the God I serve that does this stuff for me will do it for you as well. God's not a discerner of persons. He just doesn't bless Robert. But I'll tell you what, he does bless people that have faith. So I love you. I'll see you guys. I'll let Craig do all the wonderful announcements. He does a better job than me. So see you, Mary, Faith, Lisa Marie, Melody, Kevin, Bill, Deborah, Sandy, Matthew, Ezra, and CJ.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Robert. And some of those announcements include tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, Breakthroughs. Friday, as well as Tuesdays and Wednesdays, is Daily Wisdom at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Saturday, we're going to be right back here at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern with Ask Us, our entire community, anything. Sunday, The Master's Mind at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, it's time for recess! So we got lots of great plans for you every single day. Please take the time to join us. If not, catch the replay, but we'd love to have you there because it's so much better. Love and appreciate you all. Thank you so very, very much. Have a fantabulous Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Love you guys.